Today I am going to start a new class of software engineering. As we all know, software engineering is a very important topic of all technical education. So before I start with the whole subject of software engineering, I will be discussing some basic points which are really needed to know further about software engineering. Okay, so first of all, what we have to know, that is, what is a program. We all have done program in our technical education. So what is a program? Basically, what we know about a program, whether it's a C program, a Java program, these are mainly some executable codes. Okay, now what are these codes? What we do in a programming class, we write some lines of codes, we execute those codes in our respective environment, that is C, Java, whatever it is, and then we get a desired result. Okay, we all know that one. So basically what program is? Program means these are some executable codes. Now what is going to be inside this software? What is the software? Software word is a composition of something. What are those things? First, some programs, as I have already discussed, executable codes. Then some libraries that are associated libraries of these programs. Okay, and documentation. Some documentations are done before creating a software. Suppose you are a software developer, you are getting a particular order for a making of a software, creating a software. So what things you will be need to just put inside that software? That will be, you will be having some codes, some programs, some executable codes, attached libraries, whatever associated libraries of those codes are there, and that is basically needed to run any program, as you all know. And then some documentation. What will be in this documentation? Documentation we will discuss this afterward, that whatever things are going to be in that documentation in a very vast way. But now, in a short definition, what is going to be in this documentation? See, when you are going to make anything, suppose you are going to make some project, okay, simple project. So you have to see that whatever project, what is the need of that project. Suppose you are going to make some hospital management or some library management project. So what is going to be the need for that one? What are the things which we are going to give in that project? You will have to give the names of some books. We will have to get the data of some students, data of the teachers, data of the taking and issuing the books and returning the books. Many data will be there. Okay, so here documentation will be the part in which you will be writing the requirements of your particular project. Here in this case, particular software, you are going to create the software. So you will be having some requirements, like whether my software is going to be feasible. The customer had given me the objective of giving me the order of making the software, but it is my duty to make the software in such a way that it will be feasible in my environment. When I am running the software, I am making the code, I am designing the software, as well as it will be feasible with the all the requirements of the customer. Maybe it's for him it will be the cost, it should be cost efficient, it should be very reliable. Okay, many points are there, we will discuss that afterwards. Okay, now these things will be included in this documentation phase. Software document, that is SRS document, that is full documentation. There are some points also, what points we see while making this documentation. So this whole software will be taking these all things, that is program, libraries and documentation. Now you are having a foolproof software. Now what is the software product? These things you are including in the software. Now when you have included all these things in your software will be tested, and if after testing it is giving the required result, that is, it is giving you the result which the customer wants from you. If it is giving that result, then it is a perfect software product. That is, it should be efficient and it should be correct for your, as well as it should be feasible. So thing, such a software, it will be known as a software product. Okay, now you have already made a software product. Your requirements are there, you have designed the software, everything is correct, everything is feasible. That is a software product. Now what is software engineering? We all know what is engineering. Engineering is to make or to develop a new thing, to create a new thing. Software is this thing and engineering is creating. That means creating this whole process of creating these all things, that is known as software engineering. So when you are making a software product, that is, it will be having these all things composed in a particular thing, that is your software. And to make that software, creating that software by using some methods, procedures, some scientific methods and procedures, technically, that is your software engineering. Clear? So now you have a very clear idea about what is software engineering. Now before we make, whenever we make anything, any software, any project, if you are small project, you are making a small project in library management system or any other thing. So when you are making a project, there will be some complexities. We all know when we are doing any programming, we are having some codes, we are having some problems also with the codes. So how, in case of software engineering, how we are going to remove that problems? This is a main topic. That is, you have to remove the problems or remove the complexities. Okay, complexities means your problems. So how you are going to remove those problems from your software? You are having those problems, the code of problems. Now the line of codes are having some problems. To remove those problems, we are using two approaches. You have here two approaches. What are those approaches? First approach is, that is, okay, now main thing, we are here when we are talking about the complexities, it will be those complexities which you are having in your line of codes while you are making the software, designing the software. The coding portion will be having these problems. What are those? One is abstraction, okay, and second one is decomposition. Now what is abstraction and decomposition? So what are these two procedures? First procedure is abstraction. In abstraction, what we do, we take the whole program or your whole problem in a particular scenario. Suppose you are having problem in this particular code. Okay, now what we will do, we will first of all, we will omit the irrelevant data, irrelevant information or info or data, whatever you call, that we will be omitting from this particular problem. Now you are having only the problem which is having the relevant data, which is needed data for this particular time. Now you just start solving those problems one by one. When you have solved the problems one by one, step by step, you will be having a fresh data which is having your relevant information, and it is the complexities have been removed from that data. Clear? So now you are having a fresh data. Now you have to just add those irrelevant data in this particular code. Okay, because they have given you the data that should be there, but some relevant data, that is very important data, that had to be there. But irrelevant data means some redundant data are there, maybe some other data which are not so much important for this program. Now you have to add those so that you will be getting a pure software, that is your final software, which is having all the data as well as it is free from your complexities. Now second one, decomposition. This process is very easy because here what we do, we take the problem code. Okay, now we will divide this problem code in some smaller modules. You just start with this module. This is the first module, second module, third module, fourth, like this. So many modules are there. From these modules, you just start taking one by one. First you take this module. You start solving the problems of this module. This is solved. You are getting a fresh module. Again, second one. Like this, you will be going on solving the problems or all the modules, and you will be getting the fresh modules of this particular, all the modules, step by step. Now what you have to do, After you get these fresh modules, you just decompose these all modules into a one specific final module. Okay, this module is your final result, final software. So by this process also you can just remove the complexities from your module. Okay, so this is the thing how you can remove the complexities from your software when you are going to make your software. Now, why do we need this software engineering? We know now what software engineering, how we are going to remove the complexities of your software engineering. Now, what is software? Why we need your software engineering? We can easily create a software from any language or from any easy process. Why you are going to take the step-by-step processes of this software engineering? So, let's see what are the main needs. Why we need this software engineering whole branch? Why we need this one? So there are some points which should be seen to know why we need that one. First point is larger software. Whenever your software is smaller one, suppose you are making a smaller software, you don't need the processes of software engineering. You can make it very easily. But when your software is a larger software, suppose you are going to make a patient management system, or you are going to make a banking management system. It's a huge software. You need many data you need for making that software. In that case, your software will be a larger software. When you are getting a larger software, at that time you need this software engineering approach so that you can make that larger software in a very specific, easily and procedural way, so that your software will be correct and it will be reliable. Okay, now second point is scalability. Scalability, what is that one? Suppose you are having a software, some software you are getting from any place. Now you are saying that the software is not technically feasible. You have the merit that you can make some changes in that software so that it can be very good, better than whatever you are having now. So you can scale that software, or you can change that software. But to change that one, it's very typical, because whatever language they have used, whatever codes that they have used, so it is very typical to again change that one. It is then very easy to recreate that software than to change the software. So scalability, when you are changing a software, particular software, to make it more feasible, more reliable and technically correct, so you have to use this software engineering there. Then it will be very easy to make the software, recreate the software in a more better way. Okay, now third point is cost. Whenever nowadays we are making, any software company is making a software, it is many hardware are used there, many things are used there, so that it will be cost efficient. To make a software very cost efficient and to use all the whatever hardware you are having, or whatever things, use them in a very particular way, so that your software is cost efficient. To make that one, you have to go through this software engineering topic, and you have to use the processes of software engineering, so that your software will be feasible financially, also economically feasible software. Then now next one is dynamic nature. What is this dynamic nature? Whenever you are making a software, particular software, okay, suppose that your customer, they need a software from you, but that software that will be in a particular environment where it will be going through changes day by day. Whenever I have taken the example of library management system, so in library many books are coming nowadays, many different books are coming, again new books are coming in the stock, so new students are coming. It needs some changes every day. That is there. In banking management system also, there are many changes which we need to update every day. So it is a dynamic in nature. It's not, you cannot make it that it is variable. It is not stable, that one software I have made and that will be okay for every time. No, you have to be dynamic with that one. It have to be dynamic in nature. for your environment. In that case, when you are making such a software which is dynamic, which needs change from time to time, at that time you have to use software engineering so that you can make that software very efficient. That can be easily you can change that one with those processes. There also you need that software engineering. Okay, now quality maintenance. What is quality maintenance? Whenever you are making the software engineering, what we will see afterwards, I will show you that what are the processes of SDLC model. So there you will see the last point is maintenance. It is not that you have created the software, then you have handed your software to the customer. But after handovering the software, there is a particular step, that is maintenance. You have to maintain the software from time to time. If there is some updation, if there is something wrong after you have given the software, which it's not comfortable with that customer, you have to maintain that one. That is, after you give the software to the customer, you have to see that one. That process is also there in your software engineering SDLC model. Okay, so there also, to maintain the software, there also you have to use that software engineering. So we have seen that why we need software engineering to create a software. There are many points there, so that you need that software engineering topic. Why we will study that one if we don't have any particular privileges for that. Now we will see that what are the characteristics of a good software. You are making a software, everyone needs to see that if I am creating something, I am creating one project, then that should be good. Now what are the characteristics of a good software? Okay, now there are basically the characteristics of the software have been divided into three main steps. Okay, three main topics. What are those topics? One is operation. What is operational characteristic? Whenever you are making the software, your software should be operating correctly. Okay, so to operate correctly, when you are making the software, it is operating correctly. So operating correctly, there are some small points which we have to see, which we have to take in mind. That is, first one is budget. You have to see whether your software is perfectly fitting the budget of the customer. You have to give fulfill all the needs of the customer, as well as it should be economically feasible. So that point is there in your operation, because it is operating, but to operate any software you have to give some money. Okay, budget is the main thing. So there you have to see that the budget is perfectly okay with the customer. Second thing, usability. Usability, what is that one? Your characteristic of your software, that is how your software is being used. Your software should be made in such a way that when the customer is checking your software to his environment, he can easily use your software. If I am making a software with my whole mind, I am making a huge software, but when I am giving that to the customer, he is not able to operate that one. That is of no use. So your software's characteristics should be having the correct usability. It should be easily understandable, as well as the customer can use it very perfectly. Now, efficiency. Efficient software. Your software characteristics, it should be efficient, very much efficient, so that it can work in your environment, as well as it can work correctly in the environment of the customer. It should be efficient with your work of the software. Fourth one is correctness. Correctness means whatever you have made in the software, it should work correctly. You are making the software, there are huge ports in your software, your software is very nicely working, but that should work correctly. Whatever requirement is there, that should be correctly done with your software. That is the main characteristic of your software. Your software is not working correctly, then it's of no use. Now, fifth one is functionability. How it is functioning. It will be, as I have already told you, that it should be in dynamic nature also. So whatever function of the software your customer has given you the requirements, the function should be correctly done with your software. Whatever requirements are there, it should fulfill the function, mainly the fulfill the requirements of your customer. Now dependability means it should be perfectly okay that your software should not be dependent on any other software, that your software, when you are giving that to the customer, he is using the software and it is perfectly working. It should not be depend on any other software, or should not be depend on any other thing. It is fully independent of its work. Okay. Now security, you should see what is security. You have made the software, okay, now you have given it to the customer. When the customer is using the software, you should have this in your mind, that when the customer is using your software, the software will not damage any portion of the system of the customer. Then if you are making a software, it is going to the customer's environment and it is doing some huge destruction to your customer's existing whatever machine or whatever system is there, so it will be of no use. So you have to see the security of the customer system, that your software should not be destructible for your customer system. Okay. Now 8th one is safety. Your software should be safe. That is mainly nowadays is seeing that your software is safe for the environment. It is not destructible for the environment. You have to keep that in mind also. Okay, so these are the 8 points which are seen under operational characteristic of your software. That is, your software is totally correctly operational if these points are taken into consideration. Now what is the second point? Second point is transitional. Now after you have seen the operation of your software, second point is transitional characteristics. What are transitional characteristics of your software? That is, it should be reusability. What is reusability? You have made a software. Okay, now you have made a software. Now after some days or after some years, when any other person wants to reuse your software, he wants to make another software from your software. So the code should be like that, so that he can easily, when, as I have already told you, that he can recreate the software, recreate it with another software. He can made the updated software. So your software can be reused, or you can also reuse your software to make a more reliable or more efficient software in future days. So reusability is the main topic. Second one is adaptability. Adaptability, what is that one? In whatever environment your customer is taking the software to, your software should be reliable, that it can adapt to that environment. Then your software is the perfect software. As we can see that whenever we are using any user developed software, what we expect, that I am using this software in my system, then in another system when I am using that software, there also it works with the same efficiency, with the same reliability, with the same correctness, then my software is perfectly okay. We see that one. So here also the customer will see that one. So that is the main characteristic of your software. Now here 2 points we are seeing. Further, if other points it will come to my mind, I will tell you. Okay. Now maintenance. These are main points which I am discussing now. Other points are also there, but these are the main points which you have to see. Now maintenance. Okay. Now maintenance, in maintenance characteristic, we see that maintainability. What is the maintainability? Okay, so maintainability, what is that one? That your software have been given to the customer. Now whenever it is being maintained, it is correctly maintained, that whatever updates are coming, or whatever if it is being used to recreate any other software, then your software is maintained perfectly. There are many other topics are there in maintenance, that is correctness and many adaptability, many points are there that we will discuss afterwards. So perfectly maintenance and adaptable maintenance, there are many other things. So your software should be maintained perfectly, correctly. Now next is flexibility. Again that one, whenever after giving the software to the person, you have to see that it should be flexible. Whatever environment he is working in, your software should be flexible. So these are the main two topics that you have to see after your software have been delivered. These two topics should be, these two characteristics should be there in your software to make your software a good software. So now we have seen what is your today's in class. We have seen whatever things we have seen, that is what is software, what is a software product, what is software engineering, and what are the things which we can, how we can remove the complexities in a software, particular software, what is the need of software engineering, and what are the characteristics of a good software. In next class, I will tell you about the SDLC model. What are the software development models? There are different models in the software engineering topic that we use in making a good software. We know what a good software, now we know what a good software have the characters, what characteristics should be there. So now we know that one, but we will discuss what are the particular modules or models which we will be using to create that software. What are the steps of software engineering? Why we are using the software engineering, we know that one. But what are the steps which we are which is used in software engineering to make create a particular software? So these all topics I will explain to you in the next class. If you have any doubts or if you have any problems related to these topics, what we have done today, you can write to your comment section. I will try to answer those questions. And if you want to know anything, any other thing about software engineering, you can ask me your topics, you can ask me your questions. Just be free to ask any questions to me. I will be giving you the answers perfectly and correctly. Okay. So if you like my videos, please subscribe that one. Okay, thank you. Bye.